What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so PSP Jonestown actually called it in. That's why I was behind you. Multiple calls that you're going over the line. Are you falling asleep or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay.
I'm very well rested and everything.
Well, I've been behind you for 5 miles and you've gone over the fog line 3 times.
What's the fog line?
Bud, you're CDL and you don't know what a fog line is.
The cop is being pretty rude right off the bat here.
The white line?
Yeah.
I didn't go over the line not one time.
Well, I mean, it's filmed on my car, so
it's filmed
we're
on
not
mine.
going to sit on the side of the road.
This driver having his own dash cam and his own evidence that he wasn't crossing the fog line while driving really changes this cop's tone.
I need your logbook, your license, and all your info now. What's that?
Are you upset?
You're not going to argue with state trooper on the side of the road. Are we clear?
I'm asking if you're upset. Like, that's it. Can I take off my seatbelt?
Take your seatbelt off. Get your
logbook? Like, I was like crying and whining. Like, hey, I'm a grown man, just like you.
Okay, step out of the vehicle with your information. We'll go back to my vehicle.
There's a history of cases where police officers have pulled over drivers because they've crossed the fog line and then have conducted unreasonable searches and seizures, and more often than not, when these cases make it to a court of law, they're thrown out of court.
All right.
Your license is right folded in there.
Okay.
So this is just the warning. Again, like I said, I got to do my job because it was called in, but I can only speak to what I observed.
Right.
I saw you cross the fog line back here,
Okay.
so that's what I gave you the warning for. No citation.
It's really unfortunate that the way someone handles being pulled over can change the whole trajectory of the interaction.
I was behind you for 5 miles. I was looking for it. I didn't see you like all over the road like they called in. So I can't speak to that, right?
Yes, sir.
Imagine if this driver, from the beginning of this interaction, matched the cop's energy. Imagine if he gave him the same attitude and rude demeanor that the cop gave him. How do we think this would go? How would it go entirely differently? This ended with the cop apologizing for his behavior to him.
So I can only cite for what I speeded for. So you got the warning for that. It's not going to be on your
License or anything? Okay.
I know you got CDL, stuff like that.
All right.
So a lot of times when we come up to trucks, we never know what we're in for. So I apologize for coming in the way that I did.
Oh, no, yeah,
I
it's
didn't mean
fine.
any disrespect.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's my bad.
No,
I messed up. I admit it, so I apologize for that.
I appreciate that too, man. But it's fine. I didn't take any heart to it.
Public safety has to be about so much more than pulling people over for minor traffic violations. It has to be about actually keeping people safe. It's too often the case that when a police officer enters into a situation, they end up escalating it rather than making people in the situation and those affected by it more safe. We all need to reflect on how many resources go towards the police and if those resources would be better spent elsewhere. If what we're interested in is making our community safer, those resources should go towards doing things that achieve that end.
All of a sudden you can talk. Take my picture. Who paid for that? You can't afford that, but you can afford that. You don't have to go through those kind of questions.
It's 10 a.m. I don't understand your aggression.
No, it's not aggression. It's a question. That's aggressive. You want me to call the police on you?
Why?
All I did is ask you if you paid for it. I heard it's free.
No, yes I did. I don't understand.
Oh, so finally you say you paid for it. You clarified something.
I did 2 minutes ago.
Oh, you're very articulate. You did understand English. Do you understand other languages?
This racist injects herself into someone else's business and brings up languages because the person filming is Asian.
You make funny faces, though, like something might be wrong with you.
I don't get... Why are people so mean?
You're free to cry here.
Oh,
so you paid for it, but they pick on me. I pay for mine. I pay for mine, too, and they pick on me. Yeah, they blame me. Why don't they pick on you? Oh, you're going to cry about having to pay? You can cry in public about paying. In your own name and everything.
Of course I did.
I pay too.
Why are you being like this?
I get sick of paying for others that don't pay and they double on us.
Finally, someone tries to quell the situation, but it doesn't work out.
Yeah, well, it's the same sort of intrusion, isn't it? You don't have to. You're just dying for a confrontation. Oh, you love your starring role.
Oh, no ma'am, that is you. This sorry woman confronted another person for absolutely zero reason and then ranted continuously for what seemed like an endless amount of time. According to a government database on hate crime statistics, by the way, the overall number of reported incidents increased by 949, contributing to a total of 8,263 hate crime incidents against 11,126 victims in 2020. While annual law enforcement agency participation may fluctuate, the stats indicate that hate crimes remain a concern for communities across the country. According to this year's data, 62% of victims were targeted because of the offenders' bias towards race, ethnicity, ancestry, which continues to be the largest bias motivation category. Participating agencies reported 5,227 race, ethnicity, ancestry-based incidents in 2020, a 32% increase from 2019. Anti-Black or African-American hate crimes continued to be the largest bias incident victim category. Additionally, there were 279 anti-Asian incidents reported in 2020, a 77% increase since 2019. There's more. AAPI data wrote, new data on the anniversary of the Atlanta spa killings revealed that hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders remain a serious issue, with 16% of Asian American adults and 14% of Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islander adults reporting a hate incident since the beginning of 2021. These proportions suggest that nearly 3 million AAPI adults have experienced a hate incident in a little over a year. AAPI women and men report hate crime experiences at similar rates over the past 2 years. For instance, since the start of 2022, 16% of both AAPI women and men say they have experienced a hate crime or hate incident. In January of this year, San Francisco officials pledged to better protect Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders as preliminary data from the city's police department showed the number of people who reported being the victim of an anti-AAPI hate crime in the city last year increased by 567% compared with the previous year. There were 8 anti-AAPI hate crimes reported to the San Francisco police in 2019 and 9 in 2020. In 2021, there were 60. Those numbers were preliminary. And yet, even with all this violence, CBS News published in May a new report showing while more victims are willing to report attacks, many cases are not getting prosecutorial attention. According to the report, in the first 3 quarters of 2021, there were 233 anti-Asian incidents in New York City, and 91 incidents led to an arrest. 41 resulted in hate crime charges, but so far there have only been 7 convictions.
Just like the vaccine they tried to mandate on me. If it's my body, my choice for them, it should be for me too.
So you're saying it is your body, your choice?
People should have the choice.
You're saying for the vaccine, it is your body, your choice?
Yes. Well, I'm saying both ways. If they want to cry, oh, just get the vaccine, your body, it doesn't matter, but now it's on the shoe's on the other.
But now that abortion is illegal in certain states across the country, would you be okay with a vaccine mandate?
No.
Did you get vaccinated?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you did not comply with the mandate?
No.
Okay, but you do feel that if a woman is pregnant, that she should go along with the mandate in that state to have the baby?
Yes.
Okay.
Hypocritical, probably, but...
So, the interview in this TikTok by The Good Liars is revealing to something that I think more people need to understand. And I see this a lot. A lot of people will point to Republicans and they'll say, oh my goodness, look, they're being hypocritical. Can you even believe? I can definitely change their mind if I point out the hypocrisies or inconsistencies in their views and things that they're saying. That's never going to work. They do not care about being hypocritical because ultimately they do not care about truth. At the end of the day, they think that they are the good guys who should have power over other people. And in a sense, I don't even think they really think that they're the good guys in particular, because the reality is a lot of Republicans sort of get off on being evil. They sort of take pleasure in the suffering of other people. This ultimately is something that we really need to understand if we want to actually deal with the political right in a way that makes sense and is actually capable of defeating them. And the clearest way to see this is to look at the way Republicans respond to violent acts that are committed by the political right. When we have mass shooters nearly every day in the United States that are predominantly carried out by extremist right-wingers, when we have organized violence from organizations like the Proud Boys, when you have the January 6th insurrection, the way that Republicans process this is very, very clear and speaks to how shameless they are. They will immediately blame it on the left, no matter what it is, even if it's somebody that they know, that stormed the Capitol on January 6th, they'll run around and they say, oh, it was Antifa. Oh my goodness gracious, it was radical leftists. Whenever there's a mass shooter, they'll go through and they'll be like, oh, see, they said this thing that proves that they're left wing. Look at them, they're on the left. Now, why do they do this? You see, because Republicans support that kind of violence. They do. They just can't admit that they do. So what they will do is they will blame it on the left. They'll say, it's the left that is secretly doing this. And the reason why they blame it on the left is because they want to use it to justify further acts of violence. That is it. And you can also see it in the way that they edit videos. When you have people like Proud Boys attacking a left-wing protest, and then you have Antifa folks that are defending themselves, they will cut videos only of the acts of defense and not show the assault that comes from the right-wingers. And then when they cut that video, they will basically bank on the fact that news outlets in the United States, even self-purported left-wing news outlets, are fundamentally going to support the corporations that fund them, and in doing so will suppress any type of messaging that makes the political right look bad.